Jehovah is within all, a monumental right, over all, a powerful authority. I mean, he's above all things, his thoughts are higher form than ours, and he is omnipresent in all the universe, in which he made through his Son Jesus Christ. It is normal not to feel worthy of approaching the Father on his throne. The Father that provides and tends to his sheep has a reason for this. His power, the Word, is sharper than any double-edged sword. It separates the bone from the marrow, and has significant power over those who seek for others' gain, unjustly. There lies contradiction in the corruption of us, that consents from the flesh, if lived in unforgiveness, in which conceives us apart from feeling worthy of his divine intervention, keeping us from basking in the reverent solace that Jehovah allows us by an undeserved grace. It's apparent and natural within our nature, being born in sin, to feel not worthy of a grace undeserved, but because we can come to him, this shows that God, at his lowest point, is good, and at his worst point allows us availability for forgiveness of our sins. He's willing to elaborate with us in spirit from whence we call. The flesh is completely illiterate, futile, and senseless. No power of the flesh has authority over light, but rather, is exposed of by the light, what it does in secret in the dark. What lies within it is a division apart from God's goodness, because it's conceited. It calls for us to love ourselves first, and out of a haughtiness, we become boastful and think too highly of ourselves, and insecurity follows in a boastful attitude, when its ego is touched. Which is why we must be careful, because Jehovah shows no regard for the haughty one. That is why we want to take that step to walk into his grace, and convene all our worries, struggles, stressors, fears, and doubts, along with hopes, so that God can work his absolution to resolve us in him, with a solution so he can revere who we are in his sight. Our full identity is in him, and there it is made noble and complete. We call on him to see ourselves as he does. When you call upon God and share a relationship with him, he renders you into a facade of uniquely made stability, making conferences, to hold up in heavenly realms, to speculate our grand purpose and help us achieve the goal from our impression of identity within him, along the way, so that in eternity, condemnation or offense does not become stunted in our hearts, to have ever questioned or rebelled against him. He gave his very own Son, so that we can find his heart. Regardless of how you feel, when it comes calling upon God, just look at his Son and what he did for us, so that we can.